Good evening, VPG. It is week number 3 of the VPG season number 14, season number 3 of FC25. We are well and truly over halfway now of this lovely game, and we're expecting some lovely games tonight because Thursday was slightly difficult to get through because of the servers. But the football was fantastic, and I think I said when we got off that stream, or as I was getting off that stream, there was one of the best streams I'd done in 2 years, just for the football alone, because the servers were a mess. But the football, fantastic. So hopefully we'll get some of that again tonight. Starting with, of course, it is the VPG UK Premier Prolific. Third place Prolific taking on second place Heritage. They are the champs, the reigning defending champions, boys and girls. So they are the ones to beat. However, Prolific, I said it last week, when they beat Exito, who are still top of the league, by the way. Prolific are prolific. That's all you need to, that's all you can say about them. So again, you've got champs, you've got top of the league, but Prolific are still my team to beat. They're taking on the champs tonight, so that's gonna be a really good way to kick the show off, I think. Second, it is the UK Pro Series, and it's the UK Pro Series business end because it's match 3 of 3 in that group stage, and that means there are potentially some knockings out to be done. And I don't mean 1v1 fighting, I mean knocking out of tournament football. Think a bit like the old Champions League. 4 teams in a league play each other, and just the 2 go through. So that is what Free Flowing and Posty have to deal with after that first game. Just trying to get the stream up in the background, apologies. Game number 3 then. Game number 3 is Europa against Digital, a massive game at the top end of that VPG Esports Premier table, the biggest competition in VPG, the highest level, and is 5th place Europa taking on Digital, who are currently 2nd place, unbeaten as well. Interesting stuff when we get to that. And we are finishing off with one of the coolest logos in that left-hand corner, Revenite taking on the champs. 2 lots of champs tonight. The champs, FamalicaO and a Luca LR1 inspired Portuguese outfit, although you may notice a sneaky little Italian in there. More on that to follow. But back to game number 1. And like I said, boys and girls, what a way to kick off this stream, the first stream of the week as well. And we've got Prolific, who we've already seen twice this season so far, and we've seen them win twice as well. So, and they beat Class and Exito. Exito currently sit top of that league table. So 2 massive wins for Prolific. They're currently 3rd, 6 points behind the league leaders, but they do have 2 games in hand. But Heritage is 2nd. They're 4 points behind Exito with 2 games in hand. So this is probably a game that Exito might be watching. So, I mean, there's another 11 people watching. That's absolutely fantastic. Blue's in the chat. Good evening. He's looking out for Sentinel, of course. Sentinel is the man to watch for that Prolific side. Among others as well. Kimmy Season's having a very good season. We spoke about Miller, Dilvix in the middle. And Coldwell too. That 3 in midfield absolutely shut off Exito. I don't know why this has stopped. It's coming back. They absolutely shut off Exito, and we're struggling today. I think it's the stream side. But let's see how we get on anyway. Evening as well, Ryan. Thank you very much for stopping by, boys and girls. Hopefully this stream sorts itself out, because we've got some big football to watch tonight. It's Heritage, aka Galatasaray, in the all-white Galatasaray kit from right to left, and it is Prolific in the all-blue PSG kit from left to right. Here we go, boys and girls. Let the football do the talking, although I will still be here talking. That's what I get paid to do. whether you like it or not. Ace Scorpion signing for Prolific, one of the best in the business. Here is Crimmy, who we believe is Crimmy because there's two Crimjins playing. Brillo dispossessed by Sentinel, but it will go off for a goal kick early doors. And an early touch in the... I've not got the team sheets. Bugger. I think it's zapping goal anyway. I'll get that up in a sec. Out wide it goes. There is Crimmy. Crimmy's Melchi. He is the gaffer, of course. Harry Newman. The free scoring Harry Newman. 19 goals for him last season. Gives it to Alaho. Cuts inside. Waits for the overlap. Harry Newman. Here he is. Albie gets in the way, but that is not a great clearance. Gives it to the Don, the highest rated player on that Heritage side this season so far after 2 weeks. And here he is, looking to slide his striker in, and Albie is in absolute 6s and 7s there. It will go off for a corner. Heritage keeping that pressure on early doors. Prolific pegged in so far. In it goes, backstick, finds Ace Scorpion. The grade-haired Ace Scorpion. Harry Newman does well to recycle. Brookie out to Alaho. Already seen a lot of the ball on that far side. Albie, that's much better. Heads it back home to Zap. It's Zap in one goal, Zinni in the other. Don't mix them up like I did. Mickleback dispossessed, but Hutch is there. Digs his teammate out. Switches play. What a ball that is. If he can keep it in, I'm sure he will. Alaho, a Scorpion, comes across once more, and he had a fantastic game on Thursday as well. Picking up where he left off, of course. Class is permanent, all that malark. Shaz, re-signed after spells at Regnum and, of course, Class, where we first picked him up. Good signing for this Heritage side. Signing for the UK champs. Teague's first touch for him as well. Quiet in his first 16 minutes. He'll be looking to change that. Harry Newman, his strike partner, though, is seeing a lot of the ball so far. Stabbed in. Speaking of seeing a lot of the ball, Ace Scorpions there. Crimmy goes long, looking for Sentinel. Finds Sentinel. I was going to say Sentinel or SJ Clay. Zinni does him a favour by getting out the way of a slide tackle, but it's going to come back with Prolific. Edge of the box. Stilvix finds Sentinel. Roulette's through. Finds the back of the net. Of course he does. That man is absolutely inevitable. Sentinel puts his side 1-0 up for the umpteenth time in his career, for the umpteenth time this season. And Heritage, just as they're growing into the game, I think they'll be disappointed that they lost possession so far in their own half. But they look hungry to put that wrong right. Harry Newman doing a lot of work. Gives it to the Don. Back to Hutch. Here is Shaz. Swings it into the back post. There is the gaffer. Heads it home to Zap. He is in no rush now to play this out of his hands. Does go quite short. Hits Harry Newman again. We're talking about Sentinel being inevitable. Harry Newman seems inevitable right now. It looks in good form. Melchi, though. Crimmy swings it in. Shaz heads it down. Brillo does well because the header was to his centre-back. It's going to come back via the skipper. Good bit of skill initially, but loses possession. And again, Tuanze is there this time. If Ace Scorpion's not going to get you, Tuanze will. And this is what this Prolific side is built on. Strong at the back. And Sentinel up front. I joke. They've got lots of good players. They've got lots of good players. Although it is... I didn't see who that was. Is that Sentinel who picked up the booking? Whoever it was got the captain's armband on. We're not going to get confirmation of it, because why would we? Why would we? Alaho. Comes back to Brookie. Mickleback. We know he likes a goal. Once scored a hat-trick on stream from centre-back. Teagues, much better from him. Gives it to his strike partner, Harry Newman. Fakes coming inside. Does come inside. Headed down by Brookie. Joining the attack from CDM, but it's going to fall to Sentinel's feet. Good first touch and layoff to Kimmy Seasons, who's been in fine form. SJ Clay it was. Confirmation of that booking. Kimmy Seasons. 3 goals to his name so far this season. Good one-touch football from Prolific. 1-0 up. Looking good money for it as well. Coldwell, too central, tries to cut in on that right foot. But again, Miller is there. Very underrated player. Just shielding that back line of Prolific. Teagues, though, managed to find a way through to Harry Newman. Decides to come back to Brookie. Good turn from him. Now gives it to Harry Newman. The Don comes back as well. Heritage at the moment just not forcing anything. But from up here, I think it does need to be somewhat forced. But what do I know? Hutch. Out wide it goes. Brillo comes back again. The Don is about 80 yards away from goal. That is not where you want that man. You want him 20, 30 yards from goal, cooking. He is their highest rated player, don't forget. SJ Clay takes it down. There was a man overlapping on that far side. He does need to just be careful a little bit there, SJ Clay. He is on a booking after all. And out comes Zinni. I mean, it was a great touch. Very casual. Again, that raking pass. It's Crimmy this time, leading by example, the gaffer. Not slacking defensively. We would expect nothing less from that man. Kimmy Seasons, down the line it goes to Sentinel with Akers to run into. He's got support in the form of 4 blue shirts. Back post is one of them. Brookie, good positioning from him. Mickelback, I was going to say, completes the clearance. He doesn't. He takes it down and then clears it. And that will be half-time, boys and girls. Probably as we expected, a very, very good showing from Prolific, first and foremost. Well worth their lead. I think I said it just before half-time there. Heritage are getting into some good... They're getting into good attacking positions, and then they're just not forcing it. Whether that's kind of what they've been told to do, we'll obviously come to find that out in the next virtual 45 minutes. It's an interesting tactic because they've got the players who can run in behind. They've got the players who can hurt you. The likes of Teagues, the likes of Shaz, Alaho, we've seen it season after season. And they've got the likes of Harry Newman and the Don who can find those players as well. Whether they let the leash off in that second half, we'll obviously look to see. But Prolific, again, I said it last week, last Thursday, more of the same from him, and they'll be absolutely happy with that. Let's go then, second half. And we do get a complete second half without some weird animation. No one got kicked out. No one dashboarded. So off we go. Heritage kickstart this second half from left to right in the all-white kit. And we've got Prolific from right to left in the all-blue. Second half underway. Prolific, a goal to the good. Bonjour, good evening. XXC R9. Again, thanks for everyone for stopping by this evening. Keeping me company. Still no Domino for the whole of Season 14 on new father duty. So it's just me. I'm not even in my uniform tonight. I decided it's too hot for uniform tonight. And it probably will be all week as well. And it's also in the wash. More the heat, though. Anyway, back to the game. It is Crimmy swings it in. Mickelback repels. Falls to Harry Newman's feet. There's the Don. Finds Shaz, who was the furthest forward. Gets it out of his feet. Kimmy sees it. That's fantastic work from him. Hardest position to play. I say it all the time. Wide midfield. You've got to do a bit of everything. Coldwell tries to go over the top. Mickelback's going to see that out. Zinni didn't feel the need to come and turned out to be the right decision, I guess. When do we see Heritage start to not necessarily turn the screw? Because quite clearly they're chucking a few men forward now with Brookie losing his man. Gives it to the Don, who finds Harry Newman picking up where he left off in that first half. Sentinel flicks it on. SJ Clay. Oh, there's a big decision for the referee here. There is a big decision to be made. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. I would say it looked like there was a man covering. You can clearly see he's about 60 yards away from goal. But I guess by the letter of the law, he was the last man. Yeah. I mean, Heritage have just made a very difficult task even more difficult. And once again, it's not going to let us know who was sent off, but we can probably work it out. And I think it is Brillo. Good running by SJ Clay. Will give the benefit of the doubt to the Prolific man. Force Brillo to make that tackle. There is Brookie. Expect to see him playing a little bit deeper now, but maybe that's going to delay the kitchen sink being thrown by Heritage, because I think they take a draw from this situation. A goal down, a man down against one of your hottest rivals for the crown. A crown currently held by Heritage, the UK champions. Dilvik's exchanging passes with Sentinel. He'll be smelling blood, as will this man, the gaffer. Crimmy swings it in. Jay clears initially, but it's going to fall straight back to SJ Clay, the man at the center of that controversy. It's going to keep coming back to them now. Expect to see a lot of this for the next 27 minutes. Can Heritage weather the storm? Can they get something out of this game? It's a very big ask. Hutch finds Harry Newman. Doesn't come back this time, and that's the difference, I think. Yes, he gave the ball away, but I think it's what Heritage need to do, because they've got the ball back straight away with Brookie. Not too many options. Miller's there again. Fantastic player, Miller. Interceptions for days. Over the top it goes from Ace Scorpion. The chase is on. Jay gets across. Takes a touch. Tries to turn his man. Does turn his man. There it goes. Fantastic defending from Jay. And I'll tell you what, that wasn't a fantastic ball. Sentinel did get the better of Mickelback. It's not... I thought it came back. I genuinely thought that came back. No, it didn't. It probably deserved to, but Prolific kept the ball anyway, so we move. 20 minutes left. Prolific will be very happy with the situation so far, but I guess a goal wouldn't go amiss here to kill this game off. Jay, good feet from him once more. Miller's there again once more. It's 3v3. Sentinel does the roulette. Goes left, goes right, goes near post. But Zinni read it. Good work from him. Keeping Sentinel at bay. Not many goalkeepers can do that. Tuanze, anywhere will do for him. Mickelback heads it to the Don, who dropped very, very short for that. Shaz losing out on that far side. Here is Caldwell. Slides it through to the controversial SJ Clay. Breaks into the box. Bit of skill. Tries to go on the outside of Brookie. Good work from him. Good feet from him as well. He is also on a booking, don't forget. Ace Scorpion. Probably man of the match. Him or Miller. Still time for a new shout for man of the match. A potential match winner. A potential fairy tale writer. Or a fairy tale destroyer, if you're in a blue shirt. 12 minutes left. Crimmy back to Ace Scorpion. Long it goes. Brookie is there, slotting in almost a kind of makeshift centre-back / CDM. He's having to do a lot, is that man. Caldwell had a lot of players ahead of him, decides to keep the ball instead. Dilvik's push right up from centre midfield. Miller at that base of midfield, just holding things. Sentinel goes on the outside, finds SJ Clay. Mickelback, fantastic defending, because he read that. He read that expertly. SJ Clay did nothing wrong there. In fact, he probably did the right thing. Cut it back, looked for the easy pass. But Mickelback is a wealth of experience as that man. Dilviks runs into Hutch, who runs into Sentinel. Flip-flaps past the man, but Zinni's there again. Keeping Heritage in this game. All they need is a sniff at goal, and Prolific probably know that as well. And look at all the blue shirts go back. That I have never seen, boys and girls. Corner flagged with 6 minutes to go. Heritage turned that ball over really, really quickly. And like I said in the first half, Mickelback is a man who loves a goal and will get you a goal. Allaho will not want to watch that back, and he will pick up a booking for his troubles as well, because look how many white shirts were committed to that. SJ Clay finds Sentinel. Zinni went the wrong way, but Sentinel had so much power on that shot. It's found the back of the net. It's broken Heritage hearts. That is 2-0, and you've got to think that is done and dusted for the boys in blue. A professional performance from Prolific, of course, but everything turned on that red card. It's given them a helping hand. They were in the ascendancy, of course they were. They were a goal to the good, looking good. But since then, Heritage, as you would probably expect, have not had much by way of firepower. since being reduced to 10 men, and that is the way the cookie crumbles, and they may be about to pour some salt in the wound here. Dilvix holds it up, no salt, but there definitely is a wound. It is Prolific 2, Heritage 0. Heritage the champs. They'll slide down the table as Prolific get a little bit closer to those league leaders, Exito. And like I said, there's nothing I can say to make Heritage feel any better about that, because it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Brillo won't want to watch it back. Was it deserved? By the letter of the law, probably. Have I seen people get away with worse? Yes, I absolutely have. And from a neutral point of view, I think everyone just wanted two lots of 11 players on the pitch to make that the second half of that second half a real good game to watch. And the way it turned out, like I said, Prolific were very professional about the way they went about. They didn't chuck the kitchen sink too soon. You know, they didn't chuck it in the corner. They didn't keep it in the corner for 20, 30 minutes at a time. They went about their business. Look, if we're looking for teams who have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, Prolific are up there. Prolific are definitely one of those sides, and I would expect nothing less from a classy side like that. Heritage, they had a fairy tale season last season. Of course they did. They'll want to carry that on. Of course, they'll want another season like that. They're the kind of games, and they'll know that, and I think that's why they'll be a bit disheartened right now. But VPG, the one thing you can say about VPG is there are very long seasons, boys and girls. So if you're not picking up the points, there will always be teams that are slipping up. And there's a lot of firepower in that UK Premier this season. So, and yeah, Eka, absolutely. I said it in game. I think Ace Scorpion there was man of the match for me. Miller, a very, very close second. Don't write off Sentinel as well. 2 goals as well. That tells you how well Ace Scorpion and Miller played as well. Right then. Game number 2 is a very interesting one. Because we have got Positivity, who I've never seen on stream before. So welcome to the stream. Other than Alfie Cahill, probably not any players I recognize in there, which is a really good thing. And we say that all the time. We love seeing brand new players. So impress away, boys. Impress away, and girls potentially. Free Flowing, on the other hand, this is a fascinating team, and we joke about it all the time. I know Domino's not here, so I have to pick up the joke for both of us. We always say Porridge can play anywhere. He's now playing in goal. Ladies and gentlemen, he has completed the Thanos Trinity Stones. He has got all of them. He has now played a game in goal. Waddy, the goalkeeper, is playing at centre-back, but was down to play at centre-forward. A late replacement sends him back to centre-back. So I've already, for the sake of the chat, I've already let him know about our disappointment. Spunia, again, we'll talk about Mickelback experience. Spunia might be the only player I know who's got more experience than that man. He is actually an out-and-out centre-back. Kempin, not a player I see playing at centre-back very often. Very good attacking player, but let's see what he can do at centre-back as well. Marco van Lineker and Kylum, 2 very, very strong centre midfield. I think that's where they're going to get a lot of joy today, along with Valiant. Sam Cooper, again, a striker. I thought he was down to play striker, but on this, he's not. I don't have a stream to go and have a look at Free Flowing's lobby right now, so I can't actually get that up. But between Frugal, Davy Denham and Sam Cooper, there's enough firepower there for Free Flowing to do what they need to do. Free Flowing to win. So Free Flowing are in Elite B, but they're down in 16th. Yes, they haven't played as many games as a lot of teams around them, but they're down in 16th, which I found quite surprising. How serious these boys are taking this season, I don't know. This is the first time I've seen them put this team together with Waddy playing in centre back and Porridge playing in goal. I don't know. We'll come to see. We will come to see. They are first in their UK Pro Series group, though, and that's the main thing. So they just need a draw tonight to go through, whereas Positivity need a win, but they also need Divine to lose, or they can get a win here with a 7-goal swing. So one of those two for Positivity. But I mean, if they can get their 7-goal swing, then they'll be more than happy, and they'll achieve that very, very well. So fair play to them. They are 11th in the EU champ, so the league below, which I do think lazy journalism is making me think Free Flowing are the favourites going into this. I don't think Positivity will mind me saying that. They're 3rd in this UK Pro Series league table, and they're in the division below. That being said, and this is where it's not lazy journalism, because I went down a rabbit hole for this one. Positivity are in the same league as Free Flowing in the UK, and they are 1 place ahead of Free Flowing. So rip up everything you know about pro clubs, which for me is very little, and we say it all the time about the cup. Just sit back and enjoy it, because the cup games always bring, I think if you had a look at all of our games of the week over the last 2 years, I can say 75% of them being cup games, and they only make up a quarter of our games a week anyway. So they're always bangers. So we just let these guys do what they need to do. 1 loss in 9 in all competitions for Positivity, whereas Free Flowing have won 5 of their last 6 and only 2 losses in 13. So it's 2 teams going into this, despite being 11th and 16th in their league tables. They're going into this in pretty good form. So yeah, let's like I said, let's sit back and watch this one. It should be a good game. Just checking the chat now. Can I have a link to the Discord? It should be in the video description. I think it is. A team that plays a back 4. Yeah, that's a good point actually. It's a 4-5-1, 2 cams, 3 cams apparently. I like it. I'm having a look at it now on their lobby. I'll get it on the screen for you guys as well. It's a 4-2-3-1. Whoever the gaffer is, he likes his football manager. Yeah, Positivity then on the... I'm trying to have a look for him. There he is. He's playing Lamb. So Lake Star, who is... Yeah, he's lacking. He's their top-rated player with 7 goals and 9 assists. And you would think those types of numbers after just 2 weeks, he would be a striker. You would be mistaken, as was I whilst I was doing this research. Sam, though, the striker, is also on 7 goals. So 14 goals between those two. Who have they got alongside them? Jay Bobbins and Liam, which... Yeah, Liam, that does make sense. Jay is Jimmy. That makes sense too. I like that. Sometimes I like it when the names make sense. A lot of the time they don't make sense. Yeah, with Free Flow, I've got those players that I could easily talk about all day. The likes of Valiant. Valiant's playing in UK League 1 is a scary thought. And just to cast your mind back, those of you who do follow Pro Clubs Weekly, which is my YouTube channel, we took over a UK League 1 side for a series about 4 or 5 seasons ago, and Domino and I played in that league. So the fact that the likes of Valiant, Marco Van Lineker, basically the whole team, are playing in that league, that's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. But they're not top. Like I said, they've got a few games in hand, but Positivity are above them in the league. I think they're 4th and 5th. I'm sorry if you're 3rd and 4th. I think they're 4th and 5th. I might be doing you a disservice. Apologies if I am. But right then, we are just waiting for invites to be sent. We are almost at our allotted time limit. I think it's Free Flowing that are being naughty, but I think the manager's just going to politely remind them now. Is Welsh Mania, Daddy Welsh on your screen? I'm not sure I can say that too many times on stream. I think I might just stick with Welsh. Yeah, he is the gaffer. He is the cameraman. He is their CDM extraordinaire. And to be honest, this is just going to be one of those games that it should just be a bit more cup-like, because with the UK Pro Series, you do have those group stages. The Group Game 1 and Group Game 2, sometimes they don't feel like cup games. This is a cup game, because if Positivity lose here, they will be out. And if they win here, then they've got to win by a lot or rely on another result. So there's a lot of moving parts here. I won't try and keep you up to date with everything that's going on, because it would be impossible. But just know there'll be some supercomputer doing mathematics in the background, so we don't have to. And I've got a lot of time. That's why I love technology. Up the Richard SH. He's the centre back. One of two centre backs. They are playing that back four. As All About Football pointed out. Sorry, I mixed up his name. Positivity going with that Man United kit. Welsh is a Man United fan. Free flowing in that. Is that Club Brugge? Black and white. Atalanta Inter looking kit. But it is red versus blue, which is always happy days for me and my eyes. Positivity, last note on these boys then, as they come out to the Power Horse Stadium. One loss in 9, like I said, in all competitions. They've scored in every one of those 9 games and only got 2 clean sheets. So we're expecting a lot of goals either way. They're going to score a few, maybe concede a few. From a neutral point of view, I'm absolutely fine with that. Let's see how we get on then, boys and girls. It is game number 2 of 4, and it is the UK Pro Series. Positivity in the red Man United kit, and it is free flowing. First look at these boys. They've all left good sides, good UK Premier sides, a lot of EU Premier sides as well in there. Interesting to see what these guys are cooking up, and very interesting camera angle as well. Lakin is the one to watch for Positivity tonight. Kempe at the back getting a nice early touch. Kylum and Marco van Linneke in centre midfield. You'll do well to find a better midfield at this level. UK League 1, that is, of course. Baliance wins it high up. Davy Denham, edge of the box, strikes just over the bar. Alfie Cahill watches that one go over. Playing out from the back. Left back gets absolutely crunched. TJ giving him absolutely no time on the ball. CM, left back, goes long. Good throw. He's got an absolute bullet throw on him. Look out for that throw. Daddy Shambo, good work from him. They got Daddy Shambo and Daddy Welsh. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Jay Bobbins, was Sam onside? No, he wasn't. I thought he might have done enough just to get back onside. Porridge, the goalkeeper, I will not get used to saying that, but for the next 80 minutes, I've got to get used to it. Positivity, good. I'm going to go with Shambo. Good work from Shambo again for the second time in quick succession. Marco van Linneke is there, though. Gives it to Baliance, his cam. Int's got a lot of room and space to cook. My advice is do not let him do that. Alfie Cahill. Oh, it's a big save. The follow-up, I think it might have taken a deflection, which is strange because the defender got the wrong side of the ball. That's a free header from Waddy, the proper goalkeeper. There you go. That was a goalkeeper's header. But first big chance falls to free flowing. And Positivity insist on playing out from the back, despite being caught a few times so far. Risk versus reward, as always, and when they do play through that press, which they're very close to doing there, I'm sure they will get their just rewards. Until then, it's Baliance and co causing absolute havoc. Frugal, free shot, massive save from Alfie Cahill, and rightly so, having a go at his defence. That back two, those two centre-backs, just a little bit exposed. Cambo and Welsh in front of them. Almost need a bit of a screen. Back post is Duffers, though. Good header. Puts it behind for another corner. Back-to-back corners for free-flowing. Straight into the mixer. There is Waddy. Another fantastic save from Alfie. Clearance is picked up by Liam, although Kylum is there. Falls to the centre-back, who gives it to the other centre-back, who gives it to the other centre-back. Liam is there. Wins it back. Good press. Sam Cooper into the back post. CM comes across the fullback. Jay Bobbins helps it on its way, but TJ's going to send it straight back where it came from. Backs against the wall for the Welshman. Kylam put his foot on it nicely, but did turn back into trouble. One back nicely, though, and it does fall with the man who lost it originally. Davey. Shambo is in. Good ball to Jay Bobbins. Here's Liam with a bit of space to run into, being shut down quickly. Holds on to it, sends his man for a Twix. Inside it goes to Welsh. Gets it back. Good football from Positivity. Near post is on. It's Sam. Big save from Porridge. Tips it onto the post. Great work from Positivity. This is, you can tell they've been drilled into playing out from the back. They probably rarely play a team that's as good at pressing as Free Flowing. But you can see the blueprint is there, the design is there, and they came very, very close to open the scoring there. End to end at the moment. Frugal gives it to Kylam up from centre midfield. Red times that. FAMALICAO keeps it on just for gigs. Gives it a little bounce, and he's going to send it long, looking for the one striker, Sam, and it's flicked on. That's all they need. There is Lakin, their top goal scorer, slides it through. It's going to get pulled back because he was pulled back. A rare touch for Lakin. Free Flowing will love the fact that he's rarely touched the ball so far. Their striker gives it to their talisman. Liam on the opposite flank this time will get his side another corner. Good work from him. Positivity now playing themselves back into this game, because it was all free flowing for that first 20 minutes. I don't think they'll mind me saying that. Swings it in near post. That is not the best looking corner, although Jay Bobbins has picked it up. Swings it into the back post. Again, a massive save from Porridge. Do you know what? It was a good save, but he parried it straight into that danger area. But no Positivity players were around to pick up that loose ball. It wasn't the most convincing clearance in the end by the blue shirt, but they got away with it. And it's another world-class save from a man who can play in any position. Now it has been confirmed. Baliance to Frugal. Another good chance for Positivity as well. And it all came from that not great corner. Slides in the man. It is Sam Leng. Breaks into the box. Gets to the byline. Cuts back. Oh, he had red shirts waiting. Liam was one of his, taking a deflection. There it is. There's a man off the pitch. I don't think he was off the pitch when the strike was taken. It took a wicked deflection, but it's gone into the back of the free-flowing net. Positivity will not mind one iota. That puts them a goal to the good in a game that they've definitely got themselves back into from a footballing aspect. They were being outplayed that first 20 minutes, but my God, what a turnaround. 16 minutes of all Positivity. And they look hungry for more as they try and slide it through. Kempe there gets his foot on it. That deflection did take it past Porridge, but you've got to be in it to win it. Lakin, I mean, it looked like it was a foul against him. Technically, it was a foul on him, so they keep the ball over in that far side. Jay Bobbins gives it to Lakin, who was offside. It's interesting because Lakin, like we said, 7 goals, 9 assists from Cam. He is their talisman. He's rarely been on the ball, yet Positivity are looking very, very good. And that just shows you how deep this Positivity side go in terms of quality players. It's good to see. It's good to see. Like we said, whether or not it was lazy journalism or not, Free Flowing went into this game as so-called favourites, being in the league above. Elite B versus Championship. But it is Championship side, Positivity. Don't forget though, if Divine win in the other game in this group, technically it's all for nothing. Sam finds it to feet, gives it to the edge of the box, gives it to Jay, gives it to their talisman. Big save from Porridge once again, and he is now officially the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, despite FAMALICAO making 3 or 4 really good saves. This is why we love cup football, ladies and gentlemen. They need that 4-goal swing to make absolutely sure of qualification. And they're going for it. They are going for it. Marco van Lineker sends his team on their way. And I tell you what, slightly lucky there. Slightly lucky, but I mean, the time had gone, so it's not a problem. What is a problem for Free Flowing, though, is the scoreline. It's 1-0 to Positivity. And I'm trying to decide whether it's deserved on just the kind of the rub of the green, the two teams on the night. I think they've matched each other really well. I think in terms of chances, I think they've probably been the same. But there's just something about that positivity side who were under the cosh for a good 20 minutes, who then they stuck to their guns the whole way, and fair play to them, and fair play to the gaffer Welsh. He's got his team playing a certain way, and no, not lucky. He's got his team playing a certain way, and it's great to watch from a neutral point of view, but it's also, I think it's given Free Flowing something to think about. They're not just trying to hit them on the counter-attack. They're not just soaking up that pressure. It's really good to watch, and really, really looking forward to this second half. Being absolutely spoiled up here. Here we go then. UK Pro Series. It's the final group stage game. It will be knockouts as of next week. Which one of these two sides will be joining us in the knockout stages? Both of them could still get through. It's all about what's happening in Divine's. I don't know why we've got that blip going through the pitch. It all depends on what's going on in Divine's game as well, in that other Group 12 game. That might be a world-class ball. Punya needed to do that. I'm not sure if Porridge came out and actually took the man out there. Nothing was given, of course, but we saw a controversial red card, and that's going to be a penalty. Speaking of controversies, I don't think he's going to get anything for his troubles, but it will be a penalty, and it is Goddard. Oh, the goalkeeper went the same way. I do believe that was Frugal who puts it away. Bottom corner. The penalty needed to be good because Alfie went the same way. But just like that, boys and girls, they are back in the game 6 minutes into the second half. Positivity for all their positivity. Got pegged back straight away. Ball in behind Kempe this time. And don't forget, that penalty all came from some world-class defending from Punya. Kempe there showing us his world-class defending. And speaking of world-class, Liam's been fantastic this game. Gets to the byline. Will not get anything for his troubles. Definitely looked like a corner. The cries of nice from Sam. I think that was at the linesman. Certainly not my commentary. They go long. It's going to come straight back at them. Liam gets his head in the way. Richard steps in from centre-back. Does well. Kempe almost loses out to Lakin, but Marco Van Lineker is there. Baliance has an overlap on this right-hand side and finds it. TJ cuts it back to where it came from. Van Lineker. Kylum. Got this team ticking over nicely in that first 20 minutes. Not too much since. And here we go. 4 red shirts up. It's 4v4 with players getting back, though. Hands it off to Lakin, who should get the corner this time. Doesn't get the corner. Let's see if Sam's got anything to say about that one. No, he didn't. I'll say it for him. They can feel a little bit hard done by, I think. Flicked on nicely, but repelled. Comes straight back at them, though. Davy Dunham takes it down. Shambo clears. Far side. Welsh is in there. The gaffer gives it to the dangerous Liam. Looks to take on his man. Again, a good bit of positive. And it's paid off. It's paid off. A lot of players would have cut back in there. And here we go. Lakin gives it to Liam. Breaks into the box. Onto that left foot. Looking for the pass inside. Punya cuts it out. Good defending from him, but it all comes from that positive play from that right winger. He's been a real handful so far, as is this man. Sam gives it to Liam. This time gives it to his fullback, who is dispossessed, and that's a crunching tackle. Shambo sets Liam on his way, tries to cut inside. Maybe the outside was the right option there, but Shambo digs his winger out. Good combination between those two. Baliance has got space here. That's not what you want to hear if you're in a red shirt. Davy Denham into the box it goes, crosses it in. CM from fullback, and there is Liam, not slacking defensively. Kempe though wins that too. TJ tries to play it first time down the line. Marco Van Lineker, excellent play from him, wins it back for his side. There's the goal scorer. Can't get any change out of the centre half. Waddy clears to Kylum. It's going to come straight back to Sam Cooper. Kylum just not on the same wavelength there. There is Liam, cuts inside, doesn't get it. All a bit sloppy in this last 5 minutes. Exhibit A, bang on cue. It was a good interception from Welsh. Punya again stepping in. Doing a number on Liam, keeping him quiet in the last 5-10 minutes. I think players like Puna would sense certain players getting a little bit more confident, and they want to stop that from happening before it gets worse. I think that's exactly what Puna's done over on that far side in the last 5-10 minutes. Cooper cuts inside. Shambo does well. Again, another interception. Fakes that pass. Good work from him. Lacking to Jay. On the overlap is Lacking. Into the box it goes. Bit of skill. Thought he might have enough to beat the second man. Bobbles is there, though. Looking for the edge of the box. Striker's feet. Kylam's there. Clears. Waddy. Clears. Shambo. Clears. Sam. That's the bit of skill they need. Bit of composure. Takes it down. Looking for Lacking, who swings it in. Near post. Had the run on him, but defended well in the end. Bailey Ince dispossessed by Gaz. Good work from him. Can't find Striker's feet, though. This is cup football, boys and girls. Jay Bobbles. On the overlap is Liam, looking for that near post. Waddy is there and now finds Striker's feet. The goal scorer, Frugal, to Davy Denham. Overlap on that far side is Sam Cooper. Edge of the box it goes. Van Lineker lets it go first time. CM was there again, who's been very good defensively. And whilst we're seeing a lot of interceptions like that, a lot of it's down to some great positioning from the opposition on both sides. Van Lineker there you saw, but the two fullbacks for positivity. Oh, here he goes. A man over. Gives it first time. I think Liam probably could have held it a little bit longer, whilst his striker got a little bit further away from him. Instead, they just got in each other's way just slightly. I don't think Sam wanted it that early. Here he is, though, winning it back. But Waddy steps in. The chase is on. Headed out well by Richard. Falls at Bobbles' feet. Good first touch by Lacking, but Kempe read it. Probably because Kempe is used to playing attacking as well. Kylam, world-class ball. The first time ball is on. Of course, Bailey Ince can find it. Shut down. The goalkeeper did fantastically well there. It is a corner, so he was onside. Alfie Cahill's starting position there made the striker make up his mind. Excellent work from him, and there he is again. If I had an applause button, I would be pressing it now. Fair play to him. Great work. Liam hands it off. This time was the right decision. Gets it back. Edge of the box it is. Stabs it forward. Kempe repels. Waddy takes it down this time. Bailey Ince, talk about that through ball earlier on. It had to go at that exact time, and it did. Here he is, edge of the box. Kylam, Gaz, fantastic work from him. He's going to keep these scores level because there is going to be no more time. Honours even. I don't think that does much for positivity unless Divine lose. I'm sure one of the positivity boys can confirm that, because I'm not sure I've got time to go and have a little look myself. But more to the point, a very, very good game of football. A very, very good game of 11v11s. That is what it's all about, boys and girls. If that is your first 11v11 game, welcome. Welcome. Quality in places. Absolute chaos in places. We wouldn't have it any other way. Honours even. Honours even. One apiece. I think in the grand scheme of things, probably fair. Probably fair. Shoot me if you want, but I couldn't tear them apart. So, right. Yeah, I'm gonna say congratulations, commiseration. It is two congratulations for Positivity and Free Flowing. Two teams we've never had on the channel before, so thank you very much for letting us show that game, and welcome back anytime, of course. Hopefully we can see them in the Pro Series knockout stages. So let us know how you get on. If there are any Positivity boys in the chat, let us know what's going on over there. Right, game number 3 time. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at who we've got. Just the small matter of Europa, 5th place Europa, taking on 2nd place Digital. Where do we start with Digital? Everybody knows there's a running joke on this channel. Everybody knows how much I love Digital. 7th place last season, and they were there or thereabouts come the end of the season. I know 7th place doesn't sound like an amazing finish, but the fact that they were there or thereabouts on the last game, the last day of the season, so that last Monday, they were in the mix. That they finished the season last season, I think, the most informed team, other than Fama, who then went on to go and win like 6 games in a row. So Digital just took that into this season. They've kept their core. They've signed Neymar and kept their core. That was really important for them, because they just got playing this FC25. They just got it down to a T, and now they're reaping the benefits for it, because they're second and the only unbeaten side in this VPG UK Premier. So I'm going to say it's theirs to lose. I don't want to put pressure on them because I love them, but also we watched Europa last week. 3-1 losers against LFC Braunschweig, but if you go back and watch the game, 2 of those goals were really, really weird. And I think on any other game, any other day, they draw that. Easily, they draw that. Not taking anything away from Braunschweig, because they were fantastic on the night, but 2 very, very strange goals. And I saw enough from Europa, who were unbeaten in the league at that point, by the way. I saw enough. I mean, they're newly promoted as well, boys and girls. So I saw enough that I always say, if you can aim for mid-table in the VPG Esports Premier, regardless of who you are, you've done well, because this league, I mean, I think there's 28 teams this season. Every single season, I'm gonna say like 24 of those are absolute killers. It's just the way it is. There's no easy games. There's no easy games in this league. There never has been. There never will be. So if you're finishing mid-table, for a team who's just come up, I think mid-table is the heavens. Europa have just come up and they're already in 5th place, unbeaten after almost 2 weeks. Why not? Just carry on going for it. Carry on doing what you're doing. Right off that Braunschweig result and just go hell for leather, because they're good enough. They're good enough. They've got the tools to do it as well. And speaking of tools, they just brought in Usama. Usama will be playing up front alongside their top goal scorer, Joker. 22 goals in Season 12 for PMI in the VPG Esports Premier for Usama. So they've got the firepower. Those 2 up front, they are going with the 2 up top tonight. They are matching Digital. It's a straight shootout. It's a straight shootout, because on the other hand, you've got D the G, who's got 11 goals in 18 games. Cav, 8 goals in 15 games. That strike partnership, after 2 weeks in all competitions, is worth 19 goals. We've always said Digital just missing that strike power, that firepower up top. They stuck with D the G. They stuck with Cav. Cav was the man. Cav was the man I thought was going to be able to do it. But more to the point, they didn't go out and find that 30-40 goal a season striker. They stuck. I mean, because we say it all the time. Every time we watch Digital, D the G is a world-class cam. Is he a world-class striker? Not yet. With stats like that, he is fully getting there. He is fully getting there. And Cav, is Cav a world-class striker? Yes, he is. Is he getting the world-class striker goals? Amount of goals? Not yet. But this Digital side are doing everything in their power to make those 2 things happen, and I absolutely love that. They've stuck by them. They brought in Neymar, who can play up front, by the way. Put him on right midfield, and he's just been chipping in with goals as well. And just proof, Aragold is their top-rated player, the cam. 6 assists and 3 goals. The fact they get D the G and Rage Aragold in this side week in, week out, I think tells you a lot about how much this club think of those 2 players, because D the G and Rage Aragold will get in 90% of teams in Europe in that cam position. So, and they've got 2 of them. Stockpiling world-class cams. How rude. Right then, so we have got Europa, 6 wins in 7 games. Obviously, that one they didn't win was that defeat against Braunschweig on Thursday on stream, which, again, I'll say it, was unfortunate. Very unfortunate. 1 loss in 10 in the EU Prem for Europa. And like I said earlier on, Digital are unbeaten. Second by 1 goal difference, level on points with One Mind Focus on 23 points, but they've got 2 games in hand. All going well for both of these sides, but it does mean we've got to spoil the party for one of these. I mean, to be fair, they could draw. If they really wanted to just not upset each other, they could just draw. It's fine. We just had one of those, though. We don't want any more draws. Let's go. Straight shootout, boys and girls. Europa against Digital. Let's do this. Let's do this. 22 is the magic number. 22 in that top left-hand corner. And it is confirmation of the 2 sides. Once he gets the team sheets up. Europa in all white. Joker, edge of the box, might fall too. I tell you what, Cruz has come out there. Europa in all white from left to right. Digital in all black from right to left. Fast start from Europa. No idea why Cruz came out there and didn't use his hands, but we move. I'm not sure what that pause sign is in the top middle of the screen, but it doesn't look like it's going anywhere, so enjoy that one too. Jeff heads it out, but it's picked up by Europa. Far side is Adri. A very good game on Thursday. Cuts it in to Joker, the danger man. Beats 1, beats 2, gives it to Osama. Good block. Alvaro is there. Carol Lascelles gets to the byline, stabs it in. Blocked. It will be a corner. Carlo had a very, very good game on Thursday. One of my men of the match, actually, because I'm a coward and can't just pick one. But on this near side, Usama back post was on. Calvin for Digital, their centre forward back there, picking up scraps. Suso turns on it once, twice. They want to build from the back, do Digital, and very good at doing so. We saw those guys in week number 1. They beat Galatasaray 1-0 after scoring early doors in that first half. We then saw a defensive masterclass, boys and girls. Read into that what you will. It was a 1-0 defensive masterclass. They parked the bus. But they got the points, and that's what we've always said about Digital. They always have the performance. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Well, is this the season, boys and girls? Is this the season? Is it wedding season? D to G tried to go down the line, but Rubio is there. Cuts inside, but finds its way to Sanji, which a lot of passers do because he is a very good interceptor of the ball. Rage Aragon cuts onto that left foot. Rubio is there again, exchanging possession, the two of them. Some fantastic work from Rage. Looks in menacing form already this season, but early on in this game too. Calvin dropping deep again. Good feet from him, good hold-up play from him. Sanji goes down the line, will get it back. Looks to recycle with the central centre-back Jeff. Handed off to Rage, gives it to Calvin. Neymar coming very narrow. Said in the intro, he does like to play up front. Of course, he can play on the wing, can play wide midfield. That's where he's found himself for Digital. Calvin looking for strike partner's feet, does not find it. Europa clear it, can't get hold of the ball so far. Exhibit A, Calvin back there, probably had the most touches of anyone. Digital happy to keep the ball in this first 22 minutes. Probably seen 70+% possession. Europa won't mind as long as that scoreline stays Digital 0. Flicked on by Carlos to Usama, the dangerous Usama. 22 goals for PMI in Season 12. That's where we picked him up. And he'll be looking to pick up the same. What Europa would give for that return this season. Calvin finds Neymar Jr. again, playing very narrow. Digital just lacking a bit of width at the moment as all three centre-backs very bunched together as Joker goes on the outside, gives it to Osama. Ususo there in the nick of time. Excellent tackle from him. Usama was about to pull the trigger. Shifted it onto that dangerous right foot. We've seen him do it time after time after time on stream. Lavezzi to Carlos. Cuts inside Usama, but Rage Aragold's turn to cut back. And pinched that as a bad pass. Joker intercepts. Usama onto the left, onto the right. Another shot blocked. That's 3 shots he's had blocked so far in the first 30 minutes. I was going to say, can't keep it in. He does keep it in. The man who got put on his backside got in his way, so he couldn't actually complete the flick over his head. But it was a good attempt. Usama and Joker looking lively in these opening 33 minutes. That is a hospital ball. Suso's done extremely well, ×2, to get away with that down the line to Dresch, who's barely touched the ball. Rubio has touched the ball a lot. 6s and 7s at the moment. That is what we call a professional foul, ladies and gentlemen. And it is elbow. Early-ish booking. First half booking for a centre midfielder. CDM is never great. But he's got Sanji alongside him. Sanji will have to be his walking potential booking partner, because again, we see it time after time when players break from midfield. Centre midfielders love to do that. I mean, we just saw it now. But towards the back end, Usama's completely and utterly pinched his pocket. If any of those players do break away, it'll have to be Sanji who picks up the booking from now on. Unless Albo wants an early bath, of course. Calvin does well. He's having to work very, very hard in these opening 40 minutes. Buttrell is there. Wins it back, gives it to Adri, who's playing in front of him this evening. Butcher goes long. Again, another player who had a fantastic game on Thursday. Headed down to Joker, edge of the box. Tries to beat his man, can't beat his man, Jeff. And I tell you what, that would have been very, very similar to one of the 2 Braunschweig goals that Europa conceded on Thursday. So if that had gone in, almost feel like it's just rewards for Europa. Alas, it goes over the crossbar, but another strange... I don't know, EA's up to his usual tricks or not, or has added a few weird animations, but Europa would not have minded there. Usama. They have to watch the clock here. They are happy just to keep the ball, and keep the ball they do, and it will see us through to half-time. To be honest, not too much to say about that. Digital are more than happy to keep the ball, and they've always been a team who are very good at playing through the thirds. Calvin dropping very deep, and it's almost a bit like the Heritage game, that first game we watched, where Harry Newman was dropping deep, picking up the ball, but just playing it off. There needs to be a little bit more reasoning for doing that for Digital, I think. Or Digital are happy just to keep this one level for as long as possible and try and pinch something, because the VPG EU Premier is a results business, and this is what this Digital side are learning at the moment, and it's one of the most difficult lessons these sides can learn, and it's one that Digital have had to learn the hard way season after season after season, because every season they bless us with excellent performances and they'll get beat 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. This season they've gone, do you know what, how about we don't put on massively entertaining games, but we actually win more than we lose. You know, we put on a show by winning. And that's exactly what they're doing. The only unbeaten side after week 2 are the boys in black. Digital from left to right. Germany plays Spain tonight on this one. Europa from Spain. They are in the all-white from right to left. Housekeeping done and dusted. Second half. VPG brought to you by Pro Clubs Weekly. If you've not subscribed to that channel, what the hell are you doing with your life? Make sure you subscribe after you subscribe to this channel, of course. But as the name suggests, we do everything Pro Clubs on a weekly basis, on a daily basis actually. Carlos on that far side, good bit of skill from him, cuts inside, plays it off his man, and we will go long. Butcher has to keep that one in. Calvin blocks it. It's going to go back to the original ball player, which was Nanos. Albo, good interception from him. Don't forget, picked up that early booking in the first half. Walking on eggshells. Here he is, very deep. Digital just seem very content with the ball in their own half. The good thing for Digital is they've got players who can do magical things. Here is Joker. Speaking of players who could do magical things. Tries to square up his man. Suso stood tall, stood strong. Clearance left a lot to be desired, though. He's going to have to get back in, but Sanji is there. When you've got players like Sanji and Albo in front of you, you can take a risk or two. Here is Carlos on that far side. Cuts inside. Gives it through to Osama on the left peg. Again, another shot block. There is Joker, though, to put it away from close range. The ricochet fell very nicely to him. Left-footed strike. Nothing that Cruz could do from that point-blank range. Digital have been living dangerously so far in this game. They flew a little bit too close to the sun there, and it is Europa who go 1 goal to the good, the home side. Good work from Carlos. Good work from Usama. Another shot blocked from him. That makes 4. Albo goes long. Cleared and headed down by Joker. Sanji is there, though. Finds Dreschk, who finds Aragold. Here we go. This is more like the Digital we're used to seeing. Calvin skips past his man, but he was getting tracked back profusely there. Albo, edge of the box. What a ball that is. Is he going to be able to keep it on? He is, but I do believe he was offside. D the G on the overlap there. Good spot by Albo. And all of a sudden, it's become pressing for Digital. And what I was going to say, actually, just before Europa scored, was don't forget, you know, we compared this performance by Digital to Heritage. I mean, it was a different set of circumstances. Heritage had a man sent off. But they looked strong in the first half. Didn't create too much. Went a goal down and then struggled to get themselves back into the game. And it's looking a little bit like that. Don't forget, Digital unbeaten so far in Europe. Neymar about 90 yards away from the goal he wants to be attacking. And that's going to fall straight to Joker's feet. Goes on the outside instead of the in. Abri, good block. Falls to the dangerous Usama, whose cross was blocked. Who'd have thought it, huh? Who'd have thought it? Here is Carlos. Suso blocks that one this time, and it will go out for a corner for Europa, who I imagine are in no rush to take this. I don't think Digital can be too hard pressed to complain about this result if it does finish 1-0. Headed down by Lavezzi, looking for the goal scorer, Joker. That is number 7 for him this season. Albo. Don't forget that strike partnership for Digital is worth 19 goals. I don't think either of them had a shot so far. Calvin spent most of his time on the halfway line. Carlos skips past his man, slides it through to Usama, who's been fantastic on the other hand. Breaks into the box, step over, edge of the box, does manage to find its way through. Europa not forcing it yet, and that's they've got the parity of that goal lead. They don't need to force it. I think that was Digital's mistake. They didn't have the lead. They weren't forcing it. And that's such good play from Carlos. A big tackle from Suso, who, by the way, has probably been my man of the match so far, along with the 2 centre forwards for Europa. Calvin. Good overlap from Dreschk. Breaks into the box. To be fair, he took it away from Nanos, but whoever that was tracking back's done fantastically well. And Joker's managed to keep it in as well. Speaking of doing fantastically well, Alvaro. And this is what I mean about being able to keep the ball. This is what Digital were doing in the first half, boys and girls. But they didn't have the goal that Europa have so far. And they've only got 8 minutes to change it. Carlos, again, another big shout for man of the match as well. Jeff into Albo. Great turn from him. Gives it to Rage Aragold. Good football from Digital. This is the Digital we're used to seeing, boys and girls. Sanji will have to settle for a corner because Lavezzi, rush of blood to the head, has gone. Converted it for 3 points over his own crossbar. Corner for Digital. Near post it goes. Flicked on. Oh, it's headed off the crossbar from Zambi. The flick on from Jeff. It was textbook stuff from Digital. They don't get anything for it. And Darth Scripter in goal for Europa. I don't think he's touched the ball yet, but he's just watched Digital crash that ball off his crossbar. And here we go. 3v1. It's now going to be 2v1. Usama, the goalkeeper, thought about coming. Sanjay, excellent defending. Carlos was the man getting up in support, but I think it was Alvaro, the gaffer for Europa, who could have made it 3v1. he went back. Will they rue that decision? It's probably the right decision, but fortune favors the brave, boys and girls. A goal there would have put this game to bed. Dreshk into Rage. Sanji, edge of the box, looking for his strike partner. Rubio is in there, does well, gives it to Joker, who got away with murder there, and now his strike partner is alongside him. The centre-back doesn't know what to do. And of course he knows what to do. Of course he knows what to do. Suso is there for the umpteenth time, confirming that man of the match, by the way. The ball over the top is not good enough. Carlos will clear it into Rosen, and there is a very, very good victory and a very good 3 points for CE Europa, being the only unbeaten side left in this VPG Esports Premier. Digital suffered their first loss in 10 games. Europa go marching up that table, boys and girls, and let me just check to see whether the the fourth game is kicked off before I go and show you the league table, because it's makes very good reading. And I think the last one will be Nashor, which of course he's streaming it there at 45 minutes, boys and girls. So we've got a lot of time. We've got a lot of time on our hands. It is just confirmation, by the way, and let's put these up. That fourth game is Revenite versus FamalicaO. I'll go and check where Revenite are as well, actually, if I can. He says Revenite. I don't think we've got a Revenite stream. Naughty boys. No Revenite stream, so we'll just be this Fama one. Right, so I mean, I did promise you the league table, so let's get that done and dusted. There is the league table. Digital, I mean, they've got games in hands, but Focus One Mind at the moment are on an absolute tear, and I don't think they're going to be dropping points anytime soon. Confirmation that FamalicaO are 2-0 up on my other screen against Fluminense, by the way, who have not had a very good start to Season 14, this VPG Esports Premier, down in 19th. Big things expected from them this season. From myself, to be honest. It's probably me putting all the pressure on them. Apologies, boys. But yeah, down in 19th. But more to the point, Europa, that takes them a point behind Digital. A point behind Digital with a game extra played. So it's the first VPG Esports Premier game of the week. I think Digital do well just to write that one off and say we were not at our best. Were the tactics spot on? No. Hopefully D the G and his co look at that and go, I don't think we got that one right. Fine. Let's move on. Let's make sure we pick up maximum points for the rest of the week, or at least the rest of tonight. Just the one other game, probably. Although it does look like Digital have got some more to play because they are behind. So maybe they got more than one game tonight. But yeah, they need to get back on the horse as soon as possible. But congratulations to Europa. GG's in the chat, because that was a very, very good performance from them. Right then, just going to flick it back to the table because there is confirmation. FamalicaO usually do this at the start of the season. They usually played a lot less games. This is exactly what happened last season. They are the reigning defending champions, and of course, famously or infamously, they had 5 games to play on the last day of last season, which they won, I think, all 5 and picked up that trophy in the end. So they're a side that like to do it the hard way. They like to stockpile some of their games. I'm not saying they do it purposely, of course I'm not, but that's exactly what happened here. So if you see them down in 7th and you're wondering why, just have a look at the games played. Just the 8 for them, but it is 6 wins, maybe soon to be 7, because they are 2-0 up with 25 minutes left to go. 25 virtual minutes, by the way. And then on the other hand, Revenite, newly promoted Revenite, Elite B runners-up last season. This is a side that I know absolutely nothing about. I don't know any of their players. I love it. I love it. And we said this exact same thing about the 2 new sides for that cup game, Positivity and Free Flowing. We love having new sides on here, and I think this might be why. Delosa has picked these guys. It's a baptism of fire, though, making them play FamalicaO. But we said last week, it's the litmus test to find out whether a team is any good or not. And those 2 losses that Fama have this season are 2 teams that we've had on the stream previously. And that's how we knew they were good sides. So, Revenite, a win here is a statement piece. So, I mean, hopefully if you're a Revenite fan or a player or sponsor or chairman, they can get the job done here. But it's a big ask. It's a big ask. That being said, they are 9th in the league, is my very long way around saying that. Just 3 losses in those 10 games so far, which a newly promoted side, like I said in the game before, if you're finishing in that top half of the VPG Esports Premier and you're newly promoted, fair play. Fair play, because there are a lot of killers in this league. I'll tell you that for free. Right, let's have a look at the teams then, boys and girls. Let's start with Revenite, because they are a side who, again, a bit like the 2 cup teams, or one of the cup teams, Positivity, who now we know a lot of their players. They're a side that I don't know many of their players at all. But what I can say, they might have different names, which isn't very helpful, because their top goal scorer is called Nils, and there's no player there called Nils, which is it's not great. It's not great when you're trying to shout someone out. Let me just quickly have a look to see if possibly one of those 2 players who play up front is Nils, so we can keep a lookout for him. But on the other side, there's some massive news. It's not SETI. It is, what's Slayer saying? Slayer is Alex. So Nils is missing. I guess their top goal scorer is missing. There's a news story for you. So yeah, to be honest, not too much to say then about this Revenite side by way of introduction, because we don't know too much about them, and Nils isn't playing, but Alex is the other player to watch on 3 assists. He is Kingslayer up front for Revenite. Unbeaten in their last 5, including a 2-1 win against Prolific, who we saw earlier and we saw twice last week. Won all 3 of those games. So again, a bit of a litmus test. It's a very, very good way of deciphering whether a team is very good, is to go and have a look at their results against teams you do know. So that's probably the best thing we can say about Revenite, is unbeaten in 5, beat a very good Prolific side. Now, whilst obviously we don't have favourites on this channel, FamalicaO are a team we very, very much enjoy watching for obvious reasons. They're very good. They are the reigning defending champions. 6 wins in 8 Europe games. Those 2 losses, and it's gonna be 7 wins. So they're 3-0 up now against Fluminense. Let's just address the elephant in the room then, shall we? Mirko partnering Luca and R1 up front, and I did see Mirko score in this game on my other screen. So 19 goals last season for Mirko, of course playing for One Mind. One Mind now at the top of the league. They did not have a very good season last season, so the fact that he got 19 goals in a not very good season for One Mind tells you what a baller this man is, and he is partnering one of the biggest ballers in European pro clubs. Chisato on the left, which means, oh sorry, they've just absolutely nailed one from 30 yards. 4-0 Famalicao. NGK drops down to right midfield because he's been partnering Luca up front, and I tell you what, they had a great partnership as well. 5 in 11 for NGK and 7 in 11 for Luca. 3 assists for NGK, 2 assists for Luca. So they've been doing bits. But when a player becomes available like Mirko, you kind of just have to say, yeah, go for it. Just letting Fama know we are ready. Chisato on the other wing. And then look at that centre midfield. That centre midfield 3, boys and girls. Dreezy, Nayshaw, and Taziak. Taziak and Dreezy sat in behind Nayshaw. I don't think you'll find many better than that in world football. And then, of course, Brecht is in tonight. Very, very good to see him back in, partnered alongside the Virgil van Dijk of pro clubs. It's Gonzalo. Jews on the opposite side. And Edu Martins dons the gloves tonight. Instead of Guy Jesus. We know they swapped those two world-class goalkeepers around. Stockpiling world-class goalkeepers. It's crazy. It is crazy. That's it. That is it. The last time we saw Fama on stream, they beat the Champions E-League, don't sue us. Champions E-League winners, Temptation 3-0. So that's kind of what we're playing with when it comes to FamalicaO. Of course, the hat trick on that night came from Luca and R1. So, Revenite, obviously the advice is try and stop Luca and R1 first and foremost. If you do that, then try and stop Mirko. And if you do that, try and stop Nage. You get the picture. You get the picture. But Revenite, like I said, 9th place so far. Runners up in Elite B, so it's a very, very good league. And they're doing a business. Unbeaten in 5. So it should be a good game. It should be a good game. But my lazy journalism tells me that Fama are going into this as favourites. I don't think Revenite will mind me saying that. I don't think they'll mind me saying that, because name me a side that Fama aren't going to go in as favourites, at least slight favourites. The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. You are now live with FamalicaO, so you're in good hands. I'm going to have a sip of water because, like I said, I'm not wearing the Pro Club's weekly kit tonight. It's too hot for a polo. I couldn't do it to myself. I think we're at that stage now in the UK summer. It's still light outside. It's not fair. I like doing this during the winter when it's cold and dark outside. I don't have to go outside, but it's bloody roasting today, and it's going to be roasting all week. So I'll be wearing an array of sports tops all week. Time then to plug everything we're doing over here on VPG. Monday, Tuesdays and Thursday streams, 8 PM. Always make sure you don't miss those. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Subscribe now. Make sure you turn those notifications on, because sometimes we just stream at random times. Oh, we streamed on a Wednesday and a Friday 2 weeks ago, so if you don't have that notification on, you would have never have known unless you follow us on social media, which you should do as well. Right, you can see they are waiting on a couple of players because Revenite are ready. Still don't have a stream for Revenite. Might tell them off, but I might just leave it as well because we know Nashor always streams. Interestingly, someone who shall remain nameless, of course, so I don't want to get him in trouble. But this flat midfield for FamalicaO, that midfield three, historically it's always been Dreezy and he's just sent it through now. You might be watching. Hello. Thank you very much. It's always been that flat midfield three with it's always been that midfield two with Nashor playing in cam, and that midfield three of Dreezy, Taziek behind Nashor. You could just see there before they went off, and I'm sure it'll come back up. They've gone with almost a flatter midfield three, which sometimes means that Nashor can't get in and about those cam positions. But I think the understanding is still there, because we've said it for months now. Months, years, probably years actually, closer to years. When Fama can't get it to Luca, they'll get it to Nashor, and Nashor will get it to Luca. When they play that flat midfield three, I think they struggle to get it to Nashor as much as they probably want to. And I think that sometimes doesn't help. That being said, Fama won the championship last season. So what do I know? What do I know? Have a little watch of the game. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you see a difference. But I mean, FamalicaO, what they've always got in their favor is if Lucas has a strange game, you know, where it's a full moon, a total eclipse, whatever, and he has an ineffective game, they've got the likes of Nashor, they've got the likes of NGK, they've got the likes of Chisato, and now Mirko. That's the problem when you face this Famalicao side. Who do you try and stop first? Well, you know the answer is, but then who do you try and stop second? Who third? Who fourth? It's something that Revenite need to try and work out pretty quick. So we are just waiting for, there we go, confirmation that invites are being sent. Let's do this then. The fourth and final game of the night, of the Monday night stream. Don't forget, like I said, we are back Tuesday and Thursday this week, so make sure you are already subscribed. Make sure you tune in, support the channel, all that good stuff. And if you're playing any cups and want to be on the stream, let us know as well. We love getting new blood on the channel. 2 new teams tonight, 3 new teams if you include these guys. Revenite, Europa last week were a brand new side. It's all good. It's all good. And I tell you what's not all good is we are very, very close. Very, very close to having a perfect night. Because those of you who are there on Thursday, my God, I think that might have been, I said it on the intro to this stream, the best night of pro clubs, or one of the top 3. But the worst night of EA lobbying up glitchy servers. I don't understand. We're in May. We're in May. Shouldn't be a thing anymore. Oh, we're in 2025. It shouldn't be a thing anymore, but more to the point, we're in May. Let me just check the Discord, make sure nobody is shouting at me. No. We're ready to go. We've always been ready to go, chat. There we go. That's coming in. Let's try again, shall we? Famalicao playing in that Famalicaо kit, always helpful. Revenite are going for that Benfica home shirt. Revenite are German, Fama Portuguese, if you didn't know. I'm not saying they have to, but I do always find it strange when German sides pick Portuguese kits, Portuguese side pick German kits, etc, etc. You would think they'd be patriotic, but apparently not. Apparently not in pro clubs. Magic numbers 22, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We should be getting into this one. I was going to say first time of asking. It was definitely second time of asking, but I don't want to give EA credit when they don't deserve it. Right then, score predictions. I've got Fama. They are the away side, but I've got Fama. Luca and Mirko up front. Has the potential to be a bloodbath. Let's see what Revenite can do to stop this rampant Famalicao side. Won their last 5 games, 1 loss in 12. They will get a free kick high up. Revenite in the red and white. From left to right. Attacking Edu Martins' goal. In all green. There he goes short. Kanisha, back post is on. Headed down. Good block from Gonzalo. It's a free header. Or a free goal if anyone can win the header. Nashor is in there in the nick of time. And here is Chisato. Near side. Player down the line. He holds it. Gives it to Nashor. Hands it off to, I'm not sure who that is. He's got a strange name though. Slides through. Revenite, good start to this game. Cruyff slides it through. Here we go. Red timed it, does Slayer. And confirmation, it is Edu Martins in goal. Drops it to his feet. Gives it to, I think it's Brecha. Not sure who that is. Mirko, we know who that is though. Chisato, good touch from him. Always plays with those short socks. Here is Slayer. Red timed that one earlier. They're going for it, Revenite. Fair play. I mean, whoever this is with the blue afro, he's having a fantastic game so far. He's made about 3 interceptions. A few name changes for these Fama boys, which is really helpful. Cruyff into time to pound, goes over the top. I tell you what, again, I think it's Brecher. It's either Brecher or Jews, but whoever's on that far side is having a great game. And we're looking for Dreezy and Taziek in the centre midfield. So far, there's Jews, so it is Brecher. So, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who it is. I don't want to commit. I don't want to commit. Maybe Tsunami as Taziek. There he is, Taziek. Although Dreezy's normally number 8. I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell them off later for using silly names. Cruyff, though, clears that into touch. Will be a Fama thrown on the halfway line. Sharks seen a lot of the ball. Let's go with Dreezy. Number 8's always Dreezy. Which means they've given Taziek absolute license if that's the man with the blue afro. Luka in the box. Finds the man. We don't know who it is. Taziek maybe wins a corner for his side. 18 minutes gone. Arguably the better chance falling to Revenite. But they've got a corner to defend here. And it is, I think it's Luka taking it, is it? There it is. Swings it into the back post. That's why that was whipped in with some sauce. Nayshaw gives it back out to Luka. Goes for the shot because the goalkeeper was coming out for the cross. Jews there getting back from attack to centre-back. Luka hands it off to Gonzalo. The centre-back is still up there. He's going to... No, he's not. I thought he was going to shoot. I think the defence went as if he was going to pass it as well, so the shot was on. Slayer does well, though. Gives it to Kanisha. Back post. Chisato is there, and I think he managed to head it down as well to a grateful Edu Martins. The chances all fall into the wrong players as far as Fama are concerned. Time to pound into Danu. Good feet. Gives it to Kanisha. Cruyff looks like a tidy player. There is Dreezy. Wins it back for his side. Sets off Luka NR1. Sends a man for a hot dog. Here we go. Players on the right. Gives it to Mirko. Edge of the box. To Dreezy. To Chisato. It's going to fall back to Dreezy's feet. Danu there in the nick of time. Luka overlapping NGK and I'm not sure XYS just slide tackled himself, put out of play. They won't mind too much because they've got the ball back, but Gonzalo power header and he's going to pick up a booking for sure there because that was an awful tackle. Cruyff slides it in behind. Jews is there. Good recovery from him. Chisato and co pick this up. It's not been smooth sailing so far for this Fama side. However, it only takes a minute, girl, to score a goal. Kanisha cuts back, fakes to go down the line, instead swings this 30-40 yard raking ball into the box, but nobody was on the same wavelength. No one was on the same wavelength as Luka on that run. And Mirko's found the man. Gives it to who we think is Taziek. Danu in there. Great interception, but Dreezy is there this time. Good one-touch football from this Fama side. Nothing over the top, but it's going to fall back at the feet of Nayshaw. Cuts onto that left foot. How many times have we seen that? And I tell you what, that was absolutely pinched off Chisato, who was doing an acrobatic... It looked like a scissor kick. Bicey at that back stick. Great defending. Dreezy into Luka. Again, runs into traffic. Time to pound is there. Finds Slayer. All a bit hectic in that midfield area at the moment. Looked like a foul. Was a foul. And there is confirmation of that tackle about 15 minutes ago from Gonzalo. Just something to watch out for. Especially if you're a Revenite player running at Gonzalo now. Mirko short to Nayshaw. Flicked on to Gonzalo. Fresh off that booking. Jews gets it to his feet twice. Gives it to Mirko. Shot comes off. It had all of the sting taken out of it. And Brunson gets his first touch. Gets his gloves on the ball for the first time. That's an excellent first time pass into time to pound. Here is Cruyff, who looks like a handy player. Good few touches on the ball for him so far. Nothing gilt-edged from either side so far. 0-0, and rightly so. Waiting for that spark of brilliance, and this is a man who can give us that. Wins it high up. Definitely another foul on the edge of the box, and here we go, boys and girls. This is Luca NR1 territory. Anyone who knows anything about pro clubs knows that this is goal bound, and look at the time in the top left-hand corner. It's fired off the wall. Headed down though. XY is there, completes the clearance and completes the first half, because that is all she wrote. Two good sides then. We can confirm Revenite are a good side, so that's good. That's something we learned in that first 45 minutes. FAMALICAO just not at their free-flowing best, considering they've just come off of a 4-0 win against a very, very good Fluminense side. But there's 45 minutes left, and I think that's the worrying thing for Revenite. I don't think Fama are going to play worse than that in the second half, and I think Revenite need to be professional about this, and they need to say that was good, but we need to be better in the second half. Not because we played bad, but because we think Fama are going to come out and do a real number. And I think fly on the wall style, that is what the gaffer will be saying in that Revenite changing room, and rightly so as well. I think that's the right advice. Be wary of this Fama side, but you are well and truly in this game. So congratulations for holding your own for 45 minutes. Can they get anything out of it as well? Luca breaks into the box. Bowles is there, but loses out. NGK wins it back for Luca NR1, cuts back into trouble. Keeps the ball though, and tell you what, an honest NGK could have gone down there. Gives it to Luca NR1. Good save from Brunson. Spilled it into that danger zone. Swept up nicely. Just fall to Chisato. First time ball into the box. Mirko can't get the turn off. Taziak there again. Good feet from him. Luca into Dreezy. Into the box he goes. Again, it's going to come back. And once again, it is Luca NR1 territory. Whilst we are expecting a shot, there is, I was going to say, number 29 spotted it now. There was a man just lurking at that back post. I do imagine he's going to go for goal, which I wouldn't blame him with his track record. They need to make sure they follow this up, though. Here we go. From range, goes far side. Brunson can only punch because there was so many white shirts there. Only one followed it in from Revenite. Food for thought. They need to follow it in. It's a criminal offence in competitive pro clubs. You need to follow that ball in. Strikers, defenders, you name it. Danu over the top. Revenite living vicariously at the moment. Brecha, infamous number 99. Good one-touch football from Fam as they move through the thirds, getting into this man, Luca NR1. On the overlap is NGK. Unfortunate not to be playing striker. Got a good goal-scoring record so far this season. 5 goals in 11 games before tonight. Biro clears it. Kanisha finds Cruyff. Time to pound. Tried to switch the ball. Danu does well again, like he's done a lot so far, because he's been kept busy by the likes of Nayshaw, Luca, Dreezy et al. The names just roll off the tongue, but it is 0-0. 60 minutes. Cannot separate these two sides so far. Dreezy gives it to Nayshaw. Stray pass picked up by XY. If you're Revenite now, are you happy for a draw? Would you take 0-0 from here? Or can you sense a bit of unnerving? Time to pound's been fantastic, by the way. Him and Danu in centre midfield. Nayshaw gives it to Luca. Loses his man. Tries to cut back inside onto that right foot. Danu sweeps up after time to pound's clearance is blocked. There's Chisato. Beats his man twice. Cuts it back to Dreezy, who gives it to Mirko. Beats his man to the back post. No, big save and a big block as well. You heard the crowd. They thought it was in. Oh, it's so well worked from Fama. It's a massive save by Brunson. Then that block on the line by, I think it was Serkan. If it's not Serkan, apologies. Nayshaw onside. Big block. It's begging to be put away from anyone in a white shirt. Falls to Nayshaw. Shifts it onto the left foot. It's going to fall to Brecher of all people. Fires it into an empty net. It was coming. It has arrived. And from an unlikely source, Brecher, the number 99, puts it away, wheels away in celebration. It had been coming, it has arrived. 1-0 to Famalicao. Nothing Brunson and the rest of his backline can do about that one. Relentless pressure from this Famalicao side. We said in the intro, if for some reason Luca et al. Are not doing the business, they've got goals everywhere in this side. Whilst I joked about it being from an unlikely source, I've seen Brecher get a lot of goals in his career from centre-back, so maybe it's not that unlikely. A booking. We're not, oh, we are. Yeah, time to pound. I don't know why EA does it sometimes and doesn't do it on other games, but there is confirmation. The centre defensive midfielder. There he is. Stabbed into the back post. NGK has flicked it up inside his own box. Definitely not what he meant to do. Is going to come back at them via Danu. Kanisha, edge of the box by Slayer. Good football from Revenite. Very cute. I'm not sure cute is what they need right now. It's good for me to watch, but it's not getting them back into this game. Under no obligation to take this anytime soon, our Fama. Happy just to keep the ball. I must say that Juice nails it out of play. But they do pick it back up. It's given away straight away. 15 minutes. Falling back into that sloppy section of the game. Famalicao, if they come away with 3 points here, that will be the definition of former champions. Mirko, though, has slid that through to Luca NR1. That's a fantastic ball. No one in the box so far. Nashaw's just arrived. Back post is NGK. Goes to Dreezy. Looking for NGK. Can't keep his header down. Lost a man nicely. And he said he's in a rich vein of goal-scoring form at the moment. Unfortunate to lose his place to Mirko, but when, like I said in the intro, when Mirko comes a knocking, NGK played a lot of football out wide for this Famalicao in that championship winning season last season, so I don't think he'll mind too much. The ball's going to fall to Cruyff. The goal scorer, Brecher, has absolutely nailed that. He got nailed as well, and nothing given. They've given the corner against them. Revenite, edge of the box, heads it down to Cruyff. Man on the post was playing him onside, and again, Famalicao just getting off lightly there. Another day, maybe they get put to the sword there, because there's been a couple of instances that Revenite have found themselves in front of goal, being unable to put the ball in the back of the net. XY to Danu, Kanisha, flicked on by Cruyff, again looking dangerous. Serra into Barrow, and again, Brecher is there. Clears it out behind his own goal for a Revenite corner. 7 minutes to go. Ball goes in. Free header. Famalicao are... You don't normally associate scrappy, plucky defensive performances with Famalicao, but here we are. Looking for a form of champions win. Cruyff had his pocket pinched, and now it's Dreezy's turn to put it into Rosette. They're making the clearances, but they're not going in the right direction if you're a Famalicao player, or fan, or manager. Danu. Edge of the box, flicked on by Cruyff. First time, and again, someone went down in the box, nothing given. Kanisha flicks in, headed down again, and Chisato is there to sweep up. Revenite just keep plunking it into the box. They get knocked down. Someone's gone over the stanchion. They get knocked down after knockdown after knockdown. No one's pulling the trigger. And it's a professional foul from Cruyff, which he definitely didn't need to do. It's a frustrating performance from Revenite. Famalicao will be thinking, let's just blow that whistle. Let's take 3 points and let's get the hell out of Dodge. They are away from home. They are playing in Germany tonight from Portugal, so there may be some delay. But it's not the free-flowing Fama we saw from 2 weeks ago. Or any time last season. Edge of the box is Slayer. Gonzalo is there, as he usually is. Halfway line clearance. Serkan takes it down. Flicked on nicely, but Dreezy is there. Again, the clearance is not complete. Time to pound. Gets it into the box. Gonzalo with a massive header. Circa. Back stick is on. Byro is there. Massive block from Gonzalo. Cruyff's turn this time. 1 minute left. Danny swings it in. It's going to fall into the grateful, loving arms of Edu Martins. And I tell you what, boys and girls, even the most die-hard Fama fan will say, thank God for that. Let's get the hell out of here. Thank you for the 3 points. A combination of not playing at their absolute best. Defensively, they looked shaky. They looked shaky. It could have been the delay. I'm not sure what it was. They didn't take their chances as well as they usually do. The likes of NGK at that back post after Mirko Luca put it on a plate for him. But what I will say is it's plucky from Famalic&atilde. And that's something, again, we've said it about Digital as well. Digital, usually 9 times out of 10, they'll give us the performance, they won't get the result. Famalic&atilde, they normally give us the performance and they get the result. But they've not given us too much of a performance. I'm not saying they played bad, but they had to do a lot of defending, a lot more defending than they used to. And on another day, they would have scored 4, 5, 6 with some of those chances, those half chances. Revenite, I feel like they will be disappointed with that one. Don't get me wrong, a loss is a loss. But I think they did enough to maybe sneak a draw there. So like I said, Famalic&atilde will say thank you very much. First plane out of Germany, we are gone. And speaking of which, that leads me perfectly into my goodbye speech. Thank you very much for tuning in if you are still here, or even if you're rewatching. Thank you very much for watching / rewatching. 4 games for you tonight, 4 absolute bangers. We'll do it all again same time tomorrow, 8 PM. Before you go, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to VPG YouTube channel and Pro Clubs Weekly YouTube channel. And yeah, we'll do it all again tomorrow. We'll do it all again Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you 24 hours.